Oh, it's you again. Do you want to see the owls again? Come in. Before I actually show you the apartment, basically this is a very tiny one-bedroom apartment in Reykjavik. I pay around 1,200 per month and I split this with my boyfriend that obviously lives with me. I have lived here for around 7 months, but I kind of subletted my place over the summer. So I've been here for about 5 months. But the reason that I'm actually filming this apartment tour, it's because I'm moving, and I will tell you in a bit why I'm actually moving after living here for such a small amount of time. If you have seen my last apartment tour, you kind of recognize this entryway because it's basically the same, it's just the symmetric version of it. So here on this side, I just have this little hooks for my keys on the electric board because I can't really hang stuff on the walls. And over here, I have my entryway cabinets, which are huge. They go from floor to ceiling, and on the first one, I just have my jackets, my mop. This one is technically my side of the closet, but it's basically a linen closet. This side of the closet is a lot more messy, but it's technically my boyfriend's side of the closet. In here, in the empty cabinet, we just have some jackets that we use most often, our shoes, and our winter boots up there, and just tennis shoes and Uggs and all of that we use most often. And besides that, we just have that tiny rug for when it gets snowy. It catches all the messiness before you get into the door. And also in Iceland, people don't wear shoes inside of the house, so every time that we have guests, they leave their shoes there. And when you turn left, you have the bathroom. So this is a very tiny bathroom. Literally here I'm standing in the shower and here I have my toilet. So if you really stretch your legs when you are in the toilet, you are already in the shower, which isn't the best situation ever. And we don't really have much storage because the sink doesn't have anything underneath it. So we use these crates to store like extra products, which makes the space look a bit messy. But yeah, on the right, I just have mostly air products. Here we usually have toilet paper, but again, it's gone. And here I just have my makeup and this little like dish with some bobby pins and some jewelry that I use on the daily basis. This medicine cabinet was the only thing that came with the apartment. And like you can see, it's not that big, but here I can like store most of my makeup and my skincare. My boyfriend has a bunch of random stuff. The shower is very tiny. It just comes with like a curtain because it's the only way to fit a shower in such a tiny bathroom. But we have some products over there. In here we have the heater where you can actually like hang towels, and when our laundry is not dried enough by just the dryer, we usually hang the laundry here too. When you leave the bathroom, you have the rest of the house. But on the right we have the kitchen. So here I just have the pantry that we bought this organizer thingy to organize our food, but here we just have the room. A fridge that is not like a full-size fridge, but thankfully it's not a mini fridge, and you have seen the inside of it many times. Tiny, but it sort of works for just 2 people. The rest of the kitchen, it's not like a huge kitchen, but it's sort of functional. We just have our sink and the place where we dry our dishes because we don't own a dishwasher. So usually this area, it's where all the dirty dishes live. So we don't have much counter space unless everything is perfectly tidied up, because on this side we kind of have like a decent sized stove and an oven, and here we just have like our spice racks and cutting boards and water bottles. It doesn't really give much space for cooking, so I usually end up like prepping my food on top of the cutting board on the stove itself, which is not the best. Like the entryway, the cabinets are huge. They go all the way to the ceiling. Obviously, I can't reach much. That's why we mostly only use these 2 rows Here we have plates, cups, and pasta, just because it looks nicer here instead of the pantry. And when we got the place, the pantry didn't really have anything to put the food in, so we kind of started to use the cabinets to store food as well. Here we have the microwave, but I don't know if you can see, it's kind of brown because I once burned some microwave popcorn, and even now, after like 6 months, it still smells like popcorn every time that I open this microwave. So I really hope that we are not going to have any issues when we have to give the place back. Here we just have more pantry supplies, like anything that we might use to cook, like olive oil, vinegar, some spices that don't fit into the spice rack, vitamins actually too. Here we have my like salad kit, which has croutons and nuts. Tea on the other 2 shelves, and yeah. And going over the boring part very fast. Trash, cleaning supplies, pots and pans, silverware, kitchen utensils, sort of. It's sort of organized, but also not really. And our Tupperware drawer, which has looked better, but let's ignore it for now. And here we have our sort of office area. Right next to the kitchen, we have this little table that has our Nespresso machine and also potatoes and onions and coffee pots and our fruit, which has looked much better than it does now. But here we actually managed to make like a very cozy corner, because here right next to the entry for the balcony, we just have our little desk. Right now it's dark outside, but usually you can just see into the street when you are at the desks. Here we have a little bookshelf with some books that I've managed to collect and some random little things. And right over here, we just have our little balcony. It's quite big actually, but we don't have much in it. We just have this chair that we found in like the common area of our building just for grabs. So we still have to get like the rest of the set. And we also have some trash and already some boxes and some suitcases to move. And here we have our dining area, which is literally my favorite part of the entire apartment. I really like the mismatched look with the chairs, and I love how it looks with the prints above it. I just think it's a very cozy area. And when you turn around, finally, you have the couch area. So if you have seen any of my videos, you know that I have a love-hate relationship with this couch. It looks kind of nice for how cheap it actually was. This was a less than 500 euros couch, which is amazing for a couch with like a chaiselong, but it's very comfortable. But when you actually like sit on it, especially in this position, like the cushions get really squished. And this was the coffee table that I actually made last year. I still really like it. I think it's what gives most personality to the house. It's just like such a unique piece. It was made with one of those IKEA hacks, but I made it like a bubblegum thing, which I think it's adorable. But it's super unstable. I'm not gonna show you how it falls all the time because I have a candle burning. As soon as you like bump against it, which happens a lot since this is such a tiny space, every time that you are like leaving the couch or something, this table falls off all the time. Above it, we just have the little gallery wall that I made this last few months. It's still a bit crooked because we have like fishing wire connecting it to that wood piece up there. You can see some of the hooks because again, we can't drill into the wall. And finally, we have the bedroom. This is a very tiny bedroom. Here I just have my suitcase because I got back to Iceland today and I haven't unpacked yet. And over there, ignore everything that is happening because it's the rest of the Christmas decorations, like the Christmas tree that we didn't put up before we got the news that we were moving. This is a really tiny bedroom and I kind of like it, but it's one of the places in the house that kind of annoys me the most because you have the 2 wardrobes on each side of the bed, so you can't like fit either bedside tables or lamps or anything on it. So I usually either have to leave my stuff on the floor, or I found a little solution. So here on the side of the bed, I have this thingy that you usually put on like the side of a couch with like my retainer and some earplugs. And I literally just have my book on the floor. But yeah, it's not the prettiest thing. When it comes to the closet, you might be thinking, oh, it goes up to the ceiling, it's enough storage. No, not really, because it's not useful storage. So basically, it's split on two sides. This side, it's so small to hang all of the clothes that I have that need to be hung. And on this side, I only have drawers down here, which are really shallow. And here I just have these shelves that are way too deep for me to actually use all the space that they would have. So unless I have something like I have here, which is like one of these like sort of drawers from IKEA, I can't really use the rest of the space behind the sweaters and all of that. And like you can see, the rest of the space is just way too tall for me to be able to use it. The worst part really is because I don't have a space for a dresser. All of my workout clothes and clothes that don't fit in like the other categories are just living there. So I don't want to talk about that. So yeah, this was my little apartment in Reykjavik. I feel like this one we properly like decorated and took advantage of the space that we had, and I really like how we organized the house. I feel like this one feels really homely and like a safe space, and I've enjoyed my time here, but it still wasn't exactly what we were looking for. This is a very complicated situation, and I'm just going to have to explain that in my next vlog if you are interested in this next moving journey, because it's very confusing. It's not normal for someone to move 3 times within less than like 2 years. So yeah, it's going to be something else, especially because today is Monday and we only have Wednesday and Thursday to move, and Friday we have to give the keys of this place back to the office, so we only really have a day to pack. And I just got back to Iceland, and I really wanted to show you how this place ended up looking like after living here for all these months, because I really like it. It was a really special apartment for me, but I'm excited for the next chapter, and I'm really excited to share all of that with you. So if you want to see the rest of the moving series, please subscribe. They are coming in the next few days, so you don't want to miss that. And if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!